I really wanted to come on here today and first say, this is Declan Timothy Leo Walsh, and I had him on June 12th at 8:17 a.m. So I also wanted to come on and tell my birth story. I have a few clips of before I got to the hospital, but then it happened so fast that I couldn't get any videos, and they had to do a lot of stuff to get baby in the right position. So let's jump right into it. So I had gotten a sweep done yesterday, and I've been having contractions for 2 days. All day yesterday, from noon yesterday until now. It's like almost 10 o'clock. My contractions are about 5 minutes apart. Yeah, so it's exhausting a little bit. My midwife came and checked me again today, and I've only dilated 1 centimeter, so yeah. Don't know if my water's broke. She tested me, but there wasn't a lot of discoloration on the swab, so usually she says it's like turns the whole swab a different color, so she's not sure. So yeah, we're just waiting to see if anything's gonna happen, and if not, one of my midwives, because I got 2, will come over tomorrow and we'll make a plan, and I will probably end up on taking castor oil on my own because I can't do this for days on end. Talk to you when I'm in labor. First, I'll show you some clips now of what it was like when I first went into labor. So I'll play those now. My contractions are intense. Oh my god. I can't believe I've been between them. I feel fine, but they are so intense. And I'm bleeding. It is 4. My contractions started at 3, and they're regular and intense. Oh my god, I forgot. Now I remember how bad it hurts. So, Chris is just showering. I've brushed my teeth, got dressed, and we will be heading to the hospital soon. I'll call my midwife here in a few minutes. My contractions started at 3 a.m. and they were pretty intense, but intense enough that I knew I was in labor, but not intense enough to go to the hospital yet. So I was like, I'll wait it out a little bit, and then, because it was in the middle of the night, so I wanted to call my midwife. I had a midwife, so I didn't want to wake her up too early, so I wanted to wait until like 5 a.m. So I waited until 5 a.m. It was pretty intense by then. And I called her, and she listened to my contractions on the phone, and she's like, I just don't want you to get sent home, like get to the hospital and get sent home, and then have to come all the way back, because I have to travel 15 minutes to get to the hospital, so not too far. So she's like, you can go to the hospital if you want, but if you think you can wait it out a little bit, I would wait it out. So I was like, yeah, I will wait it out a little bit. And she said, you should be able to, your contractions should be hard and strong, and after it's over you should still take a little bit to like get back to normal. So I got in the bathtub at 5 a.m. and I turned the water on, and I stayed in the bathtub for an hour and a half. So it's 5:50. I called my midwife at 5. She wanted me to wait it out a little bit longer until it gets more intense. So I'm just taking a bath. These contractions are no joke. It hurts so bad. So anyways, getting through it. It's intense, but we're gonna do it. Check back in when I go to the hospital. Hopefully soon. Probably like half an hour after, I took a video of my contractions at that point, so I will insert that now.
So you can see I was in a lot of pain, but I still recovered quickly once it was done. So that's why I waited another hour. So at 6:30 a.m. it was intense. I was crying, starting to cry through them, and even after they were done, it still took me probably 30 seconds to a minute to like recover, and then the next one would come probably like 3 minutes after. So I called my midwife, and she was like, yep, she listened to my contractions. She's like, yep, you need to get going now, get your stuff in the truck and go to the hospital, and my other midwife will meet you there. So I had 2 midwives, so the other midwife was going to meet me there because she had just got home from another birth. So I said, awesome. So I'm getting out, I'm trying to let the dogs get to pee. Chris is hurrying, getting Ayana ready. My friend was meeting us at the hospital, so I wouldn't have had enough time for her to get here, because if I didn't get out of the tub then, I wouldn't have left my house. Chris is like, you gotta go, get out of the tub. So letting the dogs out, I'm getting contractions in the yard, it's awful. It's going to the hospital now. It is so intense. Oh my god. Gonna meet Audrey there for Ayana. So it's probably like 7 by the time I get to the hospital. So with COVID, you go in, they ask you all the questions, you have to put a mask on, wash your hands, blah, blah, blah. I'm like having contractions, crazy. Like in the truck, that 15 minutes felt like forever. It hurt so bad. So I got to the hospital, went in. They wheeled me up to labor and delivery, and then they had to ask me all the same questions, and I'm like having contractions back to back by then. So my midwife, so they put me in the triage room, and a nurse was going to check me. But then my midwife walks in, so she got there. So she's like, oh, I'm going to check you, and she asked me if my water broke, and I was like, I don't know. She's like, okay, I'll get the stuff. So she's like, you know, doing her thing, but not thinking that I'm as far along as I am. So she's doing her thing, and I'm like having contractions back to back, and then she's like, okay, I got to check you. So she checks me. I'm 9 centimeters dilated, so I only had 1 more centimeter to go. So she got to the hospital at 7, or she came in the room at 7:18. So they wheeled me in to my room, and I was in there, and within like 40 minutes I had the baby. So when I first went in, they checked the baby, and the baby was head down in the right position. He had been for like a month, but he was facing my belly button, but he needed to be facing my back to come out. So she asked me if it was okay if they did some movements to try to get him in the right position, and I said sure, because, you know, I didn't care. I was in so much pain, I didn't even care what they did to me. I didn't get an epidural or any pain medication. I did have the gas mask a little bit, or not a gas mask, but gas, you breathe into it. So, which you can still feel everything, but at least it takes the edge off a little bit. And so they had me lay on my left side with my bottom leg out straight and and this leg bent. So, and then they would, through my contractions, she'd push on my back and stuff. She was awesome. This nurse that was in there to help my midwife, she was so great. So she'd like push on my back because I was having back labor because the baby was in the wrong position. So once he flips, the pain is in the front. So they were rolling me. I still have a little rough throat from screaming so much because I screamed my whole labor. So from this point on, I didn't get any videos because it happened so fast, but she was rolling me. So they were rolling me pretty aggressively to get the baby in the right position. So they did that, and I had to flip 3 times on different sides to get him out, and then I felt him drop, and from that, and then I had to push because he was right in the right position. So she felt, and his head was right there. So my midwife is suiting up in the hospital, the medical uniform and scrubs or whatever, and I started pushing, and they're like, stop pushing, wait, because she was getting dressed, but it's weird, and I was like, I can't, because I don't want to push because it hurts so bad, but your body just does it. It's such a crazy thing. Your body just knows what to do, and it just does it. So I'm pushing, And the other midwife, there's 2 midwives in there and a nurse. The other midwife's trying to hold the baby in there until she's finishing getting dressed. So I pushed 3 times and he came out. So once you get the head out, you know, it's such a relief. And yeah, so then he was born, and I had to get 2 stitches, so they had to do that. And then, yeah, and then I came home. I had him at 8:17, so I got to, so at 59 minutes of being in the hospital, he was born, which is amazing. Oh, thank God, because it hurt so bad. And I screamed the whole time, but he came out perfectly, and he started crying as soon as he came out, so that was awesome. And I was home by 11:30, so they asked me if I wanted to stay at the hospital or if I wanted to come home, because with a midwife you have the option to do what you want, and I wanted to come home for sure. I like being in my own bed and being able to get, we stopped and got some food at Tim's on the way home, so yeah, so that was awesome. So great delivery, super awesome. My midwife just had her last home visit with me. She comes to my house. Because of COVID, she was only able to come twice. Usually they come every other day for the first, starting the day after the baby's born, but since COVID they don't really want them doing that, so that was totally okay. I'll put some pictures of me right after I gave birth. I watched her, she asked me if I wanted to see my placenta, and she explained it all to me, so she did that. I won't put pictures of that because some people probably don't want to see that. But I'll put some pictures here, and I'll show you some pictures of my midwife, Wayne Declan. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed my birth story. And if you're having a baby, good luck. You're going to do great. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for staying tuned. Bye.